E3 is in trouble again as another major publisher drops their support. Xbox Game Pass is making more pricing changes. What could that mean for the future? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is finally getting the AAA 3D treatment it deserves? Maybe. And finally, another free-to-play game is shutting down, but only so it can be relaunched in 2024. Well, we'll see about that. What's up, gamers? This is Bono's Gaming, and today I'm giving some thoughts on the latest gaming news. If you find us to be like-minded, be a friend and super smash that subscribe button and ring that bell. First up is E3. E3 used to be the video game convention to rule them all. I used to look forward to it every year. It was such a hype event. 4 days of constant video game announcements. It was an absolute adrenaline rush. But the last few years haven't been kind to the convention. And while many had hoped that this year might be the beginnings of E3's triumphant return, it is looking more and more grim by the day. Yesterday, it was reported that yet another major company was backing out, and this time it's Ubisoft. The Assassin's Creed developer has decided to put on their own event just days later. Why, you ask? Great question. I have no idea. And actually, as I'm recording this, I've just learned that now Sega and Tencent have both left E3 for this year. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. You'd think E3 would be a no-brainer. Share the cost of a conference space and garner mass media attention at the same time. But apparently these companies have better plans. At this rate, will E3 be canceled? I guess time will tell. My nostalgia is rooting for them, but in the age of the internet, I understand that companies have other options. Speaking of options, Xbox Game Pass is changing theirs. Since its launch, you have been able to get your first month of Game Pass Ultimate for just $1. It's a pretty great incentive to draw in new customers. I actually got my first 3 months for only $1 last year, and I'm still a subscriber. But that has now come to an end as Microsoft has announced that they are discontinuing that option. So what does this mean for the future? Well, late last year, Xbox head Phil Spencer announced that they would eventually have to raise the price of Game Pass and game prices altogether. And I think this is step one in that plan. Even at $14.99 a month, Game Pass Ultimate is still an incredible deal. So some quick napkin math here tells me that for every 1,000 new subscribers, they make $1,499 at $1, but $14,990 at $14.99, which is an increase of about $13,500 for every 1,000 new subscribers, and about $135,000 for every 10,000 new subscribers. So what happens next? I think the next change has to be the removal of Xbox Live Gold as a service, with a full push toward Game Pass, which means you will no longer be able to save literally hundreds of dollars by converting your Xbox Live Gold into a Game Pass subscription like you can now. Once they do away with Gold and the ability to convert, then they'll start raising the monthly price. It might start small, like $15.99 a month, but we've seen what happened to Netflix prices the last few years, and this is probably where Xbox is headed. So if you have an interest in Game Pass and want it at the best price, I'd try stacking that 3 years of gold and converting it sooner rather than later. Did you play Shredder's Revenge last year? I sure did, and I played it with my whole family too, and I think a lot of other people did because Paramount Global has announced that they have a new AAA Ninja Turtles game in development based heavily on the Last Ronin storyline. Doug Rosen from Paramount didn't reveal much, but he did compare the game to the God of War franchise. Listen, I grew up with Ninja Turtles. I own all the movies. I still have my action figures. I have the DVD box set of the original show. I'm a fan, but here's the thing. We've never gotten a great, truly memorable 3D Turtles experience. The side-scrollers and arcade games got some love, but modern 3D, you'll have to forgive me for being very cautiously optimistic. But if they can create a God of War-like experience based on the TMNT universe, then they have earned my money. I will definitely be there for that. We're still years away from getting this game, but here's hoping it's worth the wait. And lastly, a brand new and quite good Super Smash Bros. Clone came out last year in the free-to-play space from WB Games called Multiversus. I downloaded this, put a few hours in, and I thought it was a serious Smash Bros. Competitor. I was really surprised at how polished it was. I think a lot of other people were too. They even spent money buying character skins and whatnot. And now, suddenly, apparently, without warning, WB Games is shutting down the service, taking it back to the shop to apply what they've learned over the last year so that they can relaunch the game at full price sometime in 2024? What? And they're not giving refunds for any purchases? And your purchases won't carry over to the new game next year? Again, what? WB, what are you thinking? Apparently this game was simply an open beta all this time, even though it won Fighting Game of the Year last year at the Game Awards. I don't get it. I just don't understand the logic of these companies sometimes. Even if you're going to launch a full-priced game, you have a perfectly good game that people enjoy playing right now. Just leave it up until you launch your new game. It could be a sequel. Then take the old one down if you have to, and let those cosmetics roll over to the new game. You are unnecessarily ticking off your biggest fans. Oh well. They didn't ask me what I think, but I am asking you what you think. Are you sad about E3? Do you miss the good old days? What do you think of this God of War-like Turtles game? Do you think Game Pass will start raising its prices soon? And will you return to play Multiversus when it relaunches? Or do you think WB is just going to take the money and run and never relaunch the game? Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.